We're an island nation, drawn to the sea that surrounds us. For many, it's a playground. For others, it's where we earn our living. But the sea is unpredictable.
Brave!
It can change in an instant. And when accidents happen, they happen very fast.
You're in cold water, you're not going to last long.
There to save our lives is a volunteer army of 5,000 ordinary people, ready to leave their jobs, their families, and race to our rescue.
1 minute you're just an ordinary person, the next minute you're a lifeboat crew member.
They're the last line of defense against the deadly water.
Wouldn't even like to think what would happen if there was no one there.
I was waiting for that, but the guardian angel came.
To save someone's life is a privilege. You feel like you're doing the most important thing on earth.
Thank you.
Over 200 years, the volunteers of the RNLI have saved the lives of more than 140,000 people.
Brave lifeboat men don't cry.
Rubbish. I do.
Treating every call-out as a matter of life and death.
That's what we all turn up for, to save people's lives.
It's the first days of summer, and Britain's beaches are starting to come to life. For the RNLI volunteers, who cover all 11,000 miles of Britain's coastline, it's their busiest time of the year.
It's no wonder so many people buy a boat and go to sea for the weekend. There's huge enjoyment to be had out there. There are people who are able to go to sea now that a generation ago wouldn't perhaps have had the means to do it. In my lifetime, it's hugely increased. But of course, the more people that get on the sea, the more chance there is of something going wrong.
It's 8:30 p.m. and the summer weather has taken a turn for the worse. A call for help's coming in. The crew aim to launch within 10 minutes. Tonight, station manager Gareth sees his men off in 8. 2 casualties in a small boat are caught in the storm.
Well, things escalate quickly at sea. The slightest small thing goes wrong, all of a sudden it becomes a big thing. You know, you need rescuing before you know it.
With time of the essence, the lifeboat crew need the precise location of the stricken boat.
Do you have a current lat and long position for the casualty vessel?
50 degrees, 22.577 minutes north, 10.62 minutes west.
It's about 3 miles southwest of the coffee stain.
Heading for the safety of Nuki harbour, the sailors have taken a wrong turn, ending up in Perrin Bay, an area renowned for shipwrecks.
Get alongside first, you've got plenty of time.
Now in the eye of the storm, their boat is in danger of being dashed against the rocks.
The boat that they were going to look after was in a dodgy place. That meant that the lifeboat that was going to pick them up had to get into a dodgy place. It takes on a whole different perspective at night. For obvious reasons, you can't see where you're going, and you can't see what's coming to hit you.
I think we got you visual, Ted.
A smaller lifeboat from a neighbouring station has already located the sailors, but doesn't have the engine power to pull them to safety against the mounting wind and waves.
The 2 casualties, are they all right?
They're French, they speak a bit of English.
Just lost power, have they?
When you see it, you'll understand.
There they are, look.
The 2 men on board have sailed this open-top antique wooden boat all the way from northern France.
It was quite a surprise to see this very old-looking wooden vessel, shrunk-down pirate galleon. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. boat was rolling around a lot.
I'm going to come on board with you. I'm going to take the tow.
To secure the tow line, Tim must now jump from boat to boat.
You risk being washed off the boat, and a boat weighing 6 or 7 tons sort of swinging around, and no telling where that might end up.
All right, guys, how you doing? I'm Tim.
We made this read the maps. We have no kill.
No.
So against the wind.
You got no chance.
Though they have managed to make it all the way from Brittany, this is the two men's first ever proper sea voyage.
I'm not a sailor. I don't know how to sail. I just try it.
That's time to ease off. Okay.
Maybe I'm a little bit naive because I was not raised by the sea.
You've done the right thing. Could have been a lot worse.
It's a very strong experience because you see the waves and it's splashing in your face and you are like shaking.
Keep letting slack out.
The trip like this, you start to realize what are important things in your life.
Is it a warm shower in UK?
Yeah. We'll find you one. And a bar.
Majority of people that come to the coast recreationally have no first-hand experience of the sea until they decide to buy a boat, go afloat, enjoy themselves, and why shouldn't they? But a lot of them don't have the basic skills and knowledge of the environment that they're in to be completely safe.
Back in Nuki harbour, with their boat barely still afloat, the rescued adventurers are returned to dry land.
Hi guys, come in. Yeah, just in time. Tom just got the kettle on. Look.
She survived. Hey, tell the story.
There was a bit of foolishness in it, but you know, you've got to support the spirit of adventure.
If they hadn't shown up, what do you think would have happened?
To think.
When you're rescued, it's a shame because I could not do it myself, and it's happiness that you are saved. This was a relief. Thank you.
Welcome.
In Nuki, volunteers have been running a lifeboat station since 1860. Back then, it was a thriving fishing village. The fishing fleet is much reduced today, but Gareth, a third-generation fishmonger, is there to sell their wares.
My ancestors were moulded by the sea because their lives revolved around it. We have a really strong maritime tradition. I was taught it when I was at school, that the new generation don't seem to be.
But the sea is still a lure for some. Having recovered from their ordeal, the two novice sailors have patched up the leaks in their boat and are preparing to set sail once more.
That's it.
Hi there, okay?
Gareth is at the harbour to wish them luck.
How are repairs going?
I guess we did all we could. We are not real sailors. We are both contemporary artists, so it's not really a surprise that we needed help yesterday.
Okay.
I was driving this boat from North Brittany to Scotland, and there the boat will be dismantled to use the wood of the hull to make whiskey barrels.
All right, okay, yeah.
Then fulfill them with the whiskey, of course.
The ship's hull has been stripped back to bare wood, so when it's turned into barrels, the whiskey will take on the flavour of the sea.
We really wanted to make a relationship between the handcraft of making boats and the handcraft of making barrels. There is a connection between the sailors and the whiskey. Like this, it's soaked with the sea, the wind, and the adventure.
Do you approve?
I'm not a whiskey drinker. In her day, she would have a lovely looking boat. She had nice lines on her, but I think she'd had her day. So you have the right charts?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
The artists are heading for the distant Hebridean island of Islay, nearly 500 miles away.
Bon voyage! Mark, bon voyage!
Thank you, Gareth. Have a beautiful time and thank you for saving us.
Ah, you're welcome. No problem.
Max and Mark face a 10-day voyage through big seas and wild weather, where even the most experienced sailors have come unstuck.
We don't judge people. We may offer some safety advice, which, is very often quite relevant, but we don't judge people as such. Good luck to them.
I think they tried to go at about 6, but they didn't actually get away till about 7.
Have every RNLI station been notified that they're on their way?
As temperatures rise, it's not just Britain's coastal waters that draw the crowds.
Whenever you look at a map of England, and especially of London, the first thing you see is the River Thames. It's quite a tourist attraction in its own right. A lot of people think that the river is just a lovely, gentle place to go in there and cool off. Unfortunately, you don't see the dangers that's lurking just underneath.
As the busiest lifeboat station in Britain, the 54-strong crew at Tower respond to over 500 emergencies every year. Helmsman Stan has carried out over 2,000 rescues during his 35 years service with the RNLI.
The Thames where we operate is just over 150 metres wide and it's quite vicious. You have to remember, the Thames isn't as wide as it used to be. It's been taken up a lot by the land. You've still got the same volume of water coming down, but in a narrower space. And the mixture between the fresh water and the salt water in the Thames gives us a lot of different currents.
Many of us are oblivious to the dangers, though. And on a hot summer's day, the water can look deceptively tempting.
If you think, oh, I can swim, then you think, Thames is just a bit of water, I can jump in, I can swim over to there, but you can get caught out. It's very easy to underestimate what the river's capable of, particularly if you're being egged on by mates or there's some sort of bravado thing going on.
I would never swim in it, and I'm a strong swimmer. And so people who find themselves in the Thames realise very quickly it looks innocent, and in fact it's really not.
Yo, what is up, Shinwari? It's Faisal Khan.
Faisal Shinwari runs a popular YouTube channel.
I'm scared of heights. So today, only jumping off London Tower Bridge. Let's go.
He posts videos of himself carrying out stunts and dares.
Yeah, 10-second rule. Just go ahead, do it. Come on, do it for the Shinwaris. Come on.
Most people aren't aware that the first thing that you'll do is an involuntary gasp of air when you're underwater, and you might not come up again. So many people don't appreciate the strength of the tide and the coldness of the water and the shock going in and what that does to you physically. Within a few minutes, your muscles are starting to ache and you can't swim.
Are you okay?
The river can flow really fast, up to 5-6 knots, and no one can swim against that, not even Olympic swimmers. If you can't swim to the shore, and you can't swim to keep your head above water, you're going to drown, aren't you?
Oh shit, I think someone needs to go down there.
We have to be away from station when our bells go within 90 seconds because we don't want the core temperature to start dropping. A minute and a half is the matter of life or death. Once they see the boats, that's when it's the most dangerous. Their body relaxes slightly because you know you are now safe. They'll put their hands up and then they slip under the water.
Have you had anyone disappear?
Several times, yes.
By the time Faisal is pulled from the river, he's struggling to breathe.
I think he breathed in a lot of water, and he took a bad fall as well, did he?
He was very scared. He was vomiting continuously. He was starting to go into hypothermia. We got blankets around him, was giving him sips of water to try and flush the sick, and got him warm.
I thought it would be alright. I thought I'd just swim to the side and hopefully like run away from police and just get home and upload the video. But that's not how it went.
Faisal was very lucky. For their own good, sometimes we do have to be a bit cross with them.
They were angry. Like, why'd you do it? Stuff like that. And I was like, it's a dare. I didn't think it was going to be such a big deal. I thought it's going to be fun. Not fun, but like I thought it would be a good YouTube video.
He now realises just how idiotic it was to do that and how close he came to losing his life that day.
Home to some of Britain's most beautiful beaches, West Wales is one of the UK's most popular summer holiday destinations. There's been a station at Cardigan Bay for over 150 years, but to keep it going, it needs new recruits. Local lad Tom has recently signed up to volunteer.
I don't really know much about this yet. I was born near the coast, but the family's not they don't really like the beach much.
When you first come through the door, like I say, 17-year-old, and you think he's a tiny fella, and look at the green, yeah, definitely. You think to yourself, some people are not made of it. Some people do come and go and don't like it.
Already confused.
Okay, rabbit comes out the hole, goes around the tree, back in the hole.
Late afternoon, the alarm goes off. A 9-year-old girl on a school trip to the beach has become trapped in some rocks while playing hide and seek. She's stuck below the high water mark, and the tide is rising fast.
The tide waits for no one, and we knew the tide was coming in.
After months of training, this is Tom's first ever real emergency.
The nerves are coming out around that time. You're like, oh God, no, I better do everything right. I don't want to do anything wrong.
Milford ILB, we've located Cassie, over.
Nuki ILB, this is Milford Water. Nuki mobile, if you proceed to the north side.
The police, Coast Guard and Fire Brigade are already on scene, but have all been unable to free the little girl.
Hi, how you doing? Are you alright?
Well wedged.
Okay.
Hide and seek and I snip.
Yeah, okay, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So you're not moving like at all, no? No? How about in the welly? Is any moving in the welly?
I can only move my toes.
Only your toes, is it?
I never thought she'd be in a hole 4 foot down. A bit of a shock and panic, but you try not to show it. You try and keep it in the back of your head, just especially to keep the young girl calm as well.
Right, get the first aid kit, get the scissors out of the first aid kit. Go back at the scissors. Okay. If you can cut down your welly, okay, if you cut down the front of your welly, and maybe down the back of your welly, okay, and then hopefully then, before the come out the welly, yeah? Okay?
The tide coming in, it will kill you. The stake is a life. The stake is Aira's life.
To make matters worse, today is the spring tide, when the sea levels rise even faster and higher than normal.
I think you've won the hide and seek challenge, I think. Okay, these are the scissors.
If you drop the scissors, that would have been game over, really. You have got to think on your feet.
Have you got a bit of string or something? Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. Okay, you can put this around your wrist first, okay? And then can you reach your welly with your hand? You might have to change hands. Would it be easy if you change hands? You will cut, just take your time, just do 2 or 3 snips with it, it will cut through. No? Is it your leg in the welly or your leg itself?
It's leg.
Your leg itself, is it? You may watch the boat, mate.
There was a bit of panic then because like that we've done what we thought we could do, and she's still stuck.
Is it? You move backwards at all?
It goes narrower when it goes backwards.
Could we push a bit forwards?
Fire brigade officer, he turned around and said that if he can get in the hole, he would.
No, you ain't going to fit down there, mate. No offence.
He was a typical fireman who was 6 foot plus tall.
Coming down here, he couldn't fit.
No?
It does pull on the heartstrings, especially with a young girl.
Tom, will you fit down there, mate? Yeah, take all the stuff off. Take your life jacket off. Okay.
I'm not too comfortable in holes. When I saw the little face, I was like, oh, we have to do something. I didn't really have a second thought about it. It's just a case of, I need to try this.
Yeah. Okay, go down here, mate. If you can, Tom, you have to barely roll it down there. If you don't think you can do it, don't do it, right? Just slide down here, yeah? Just slide down there, yeah. And help her with the leg. Go around and try and push her leg forward a bit more, okay? So you slide it down there.
You could hear the sea coming in, like hitting rocks, and you could feel the splashes coming over. I was like, oh no, this is serious now.
The rising sea has reached the girl's legs.
Can you see, Tom? Yeah, I can see a leg. Is it tight against the rock?
Her leg had swollen up quite a bit, and there's no movement, so it's just completely stuck her leg.
Yeah,
I've gone as far as I possibly can.
Okay, go on, Tom. Go on the back.
I was panicking.
Can you see, Tom? You got the flight?
I felt like this is her life in my hands, and I have to do something.
That's it, go on. Well done, go on again. A bit more. And again. One more go, yeah? Is that hurting a lot?
Yeah.
It will hurt a bit, okay? You're doing good, you're doing brilliant. And again. Oh, correct. Brilliant. Leave the welly, leave the welly. Okay, well, start with that now. A little bit of rope. Get a rope to put on the shoulders to help her out. Okay, take all these. Yeah, stay there a sec.
As soon as she was free then, I put my body underneath her just so she didn't fall, and I just had the biggest smile on my face ever then.
You got one side, you got the other. Okay, slowly come out, don't pull, just slowly come with her. Leave the wellies behind, you can buy a new pair. Brilliant. Okay, just come straight up and sit in the rock straight behind you. Go and sit, go on. Have a sit down there first, well done. Then you reach your welly, get the welly out.
It was a really big feeling of relief. I didn't really know what to say because they'd saved my life and I just wasn't sure what to do.
On your foot, that's one. Move your foot.
I'm just really grateful they got me out.
She was calm throughout. I've rescued adults before for less serious situations who panicked a lot more than that.
We went to play hide and seek on the rocks and I thought I would hide down a hole. And as I was putting my foot on the rock, it slipped on a bit of moss or something and it got stuck.
Keep them. Well done. Well done, Tom, mate. Well done.
Well done. Thank you, everybody.
Well done, buddy. Well done, mate. Hey? First shout. It's even worse, you've got to buy the first when you get back now.
He definitely stepped into the plate. He acted like he'd been a crewman for years. Got straight in there and helped save a life in his first shout.
Then, she was well in, wasn't she? She was close to the high water line. Sweating. Well done, mate. That's good. Well done. Good feeling.
I was so proud of myself. I can't describe how it feels. It's so amazing. So there's a big confidence boost.
Proper lifesaver.
I'm never really a confident guy. I'm quite shy, stick to myself. It's a big thing for me. Best thing that's happened in my life, I think.
It's August, and on the south coast, temperatures at Britain's busiest beach have reached 30 degrees. Whenever the sun shines, the volunteers at Brighton Lifeboat Station know to be on high alert.
Not cycling. Brighton has always had a reputation of being a party town. People want to have a good time, get sunburned, go for a swim, a lot of partying.
Hello, people!
It's absolutely crammed. It's a lot of drinking and a lot of people who aren't used to being near a massive body of water.
People have been flocking here to have fun by the sea since George IV made it his favourite holiday spot in 1783. There's been an RNLI Lifeboat station for nearly 200 years, and over that time, thousands of volunteers have served on the crew. 22-year-old Jade joined 5 years ago.
If someone says a lifeboatman, I still have the whole image of great big beards, old guy, likes fishing. They definitely don't think of me. I can guarantee you that.
But Jade has had close links to the RNLI all her life. Her father Roger volunteers as the station manager.
When she was about 2 weeks old, I came down with this baby in my arms, and there you are, Jade, this is the lifeboat station. She's had some hard knocks in life, but she's come through good, and I'm a proud dad.
Snooze and lose, mister.
Jade made the decision to join up after her mum passed away.
My mum was like me, bubbly, chatty person, loved life, lived it for the full. Okay, numbers please. It was all a big shock, but the crew down the lifeboat station helped me get through it. There's not a day that goes past that I don't miss my mum. Everything I do is to make her proud and also to make Dad proud.
Today's call has come from some holidaymakers who have raised the alarm, concerned about a friend who went for a swim and has not returned.
Solent Coast Guard Brighton Lifeboat, for your information, we are now on scene and starting a shoreline search from Brighton Palace Pier to Brighton West Pier. Over. He's a male, he's 33 years old. Guys, he's got a shaven head, he's wearing white boxer shorts.
In the height of summer, Brighton Beach is absolutely packed. It's just like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
You got a bull person at 9 o'clock? Yeah, dead on 9 o'clock. Bull person. Am I not? Can you see him or am I just being blind? He's bald? I don't reckon it's him, sorry. On that day there were quite a lot of bald men with white swimming trunks, I'm not going to lie. Brighton Lifeboat, that's all received. Do you have a timing on when the casualty was last seen? Over.
Last seen at 12:30 outside the beach office.
It was last seen at 12:30, which was a good 3 hours ago.
If we get a report that someone's already been missing for 3 hours, my initial reaction is, why weren't we alerted earlier?
He was witnessed entering the water by a member of the public, and he did leave all his clothes, including his wallet and his phone, on the beach.
Whenever you're going to a person in the water, everything always crosses my mind is, do they have children? Because I know what it feels like to lose a parent.
Do we know anything about?
Yes, he has been drinking. Over.
If he's a bit drunk, he might have got off on the beach somewhere else.
Yeah. Did he make it back to the beach safely and they just haven't been able to find him? Or is he somewhere in the water? And if so, what is his chances? Because he's had alcohol in his system. He's been missing for the last 3 hours. We exhausted that whole search area. We had the helicopter up, we had the Coast Guard units on the beach. The worst case scenario is that we'd be pulling him out as a body.
Solent Coast Guard Brighton Lifeboat, go ahead, over.
Stand down.
After an hour and a half, the decision is taken to call the search off.
That is a very frustrating feeling. You know, you really want to find that person.
That is a hard decision to say, look, we don't think we can search that place anymore. Coast Guard are still obviously keeping an eye out. It's a bit like, is he alive, is he dead, what's going on, because you want to know.
You do think about it. I mean, when you go back home and you try to get to sleep, that situation is going through your mind, but then the world carries on.
We had a man missing, so we had us, the Coast Guard on the beach, and then the helicopter up.
If you ever shout like that and you don't find them, do you not like constantly think about it when you're at home?
No, I have so much respect for her. It's really incredible what she does. Yeah.
It's a really tough job to kind of leave the station and just go home.
I think every shout I've ever been on stays with me. I don't forget anything.
One shout that every RNLI volunteer can remember clearly is their first encounter with death. For Brighton crew member Roland, it came earlier in the summer.
I'm not in the army, I'm not a doctor, I'm a primary school teacher, so I'd never seen a dead body before. We were told there was a man face down under the pier, and when you hear that, you know it's the real deal. You've got to get there fast.
Can I confirm if someone has a visual on this person, over?
The sea was too rough to get the boat close.
You need to go in.
I didn't really have time to think about it, I just got in the water. I'd been picked up by a wave and I was just smashed around, churned around like being in a washing machine. Must have bumped into the guy a few times underwater. From the moment, you know, you looked in his eyes, you could see that there was nothing there. Nothing prepares you for being there at the end of someone's life. What would have happened if we'd have got there a few minutes earlier? What would have happened if I'd swum faster, if I'd got hold of him the first time instead of the third time? But it's all bollocks, really, because there was nothing that I could do. Every 19-year-old man with a few beers in them is invincible in their own mind. 1 minute he was in Brighton having a brilliant night out, and then the next minute he was dead.
In just one summer, 2 people have lost their lives here. In London, it's the summer bank holiday, and the volunteers at Tower Lifeboat Station are expecting an influx of partygoers.
On the Thames, there are quite a lot of boats that will go out for an evening cruise, and they've got bars on and they have discos or sometimes singers.
The more they've drunk, the louder and louder they get. Exactly the same as a typical sort of high street on a Friday or Saturday night, really, basically, yeah. It just happens to be on a floating waterway.
There are some boats that have more of a reputation for heavy drinking parties, shall we say. As a group, I suppose they're one of our regular customers.
At 8 p.m, a call comes in.
Right, so we didn't hear that. We got a 25-year-old male that is unconscious, unresponsive.
If there's a casualty on a party boat in the middle of the river, then obviously the lifeboat can get medical care to that person far more quickly than an ambulance crew. And when we're going to a party boat, you know that usually drink or drugs is involved in some way.
I'm going to go ahead and go on the inside, OK? Can you, Mark, just grab a line? 2 lines.
With a medical emergency on board, the party boat has moored up at a nearby pier to await assistance.
Sometimes it can be difficult for us, 2 or 3 crew that are getting on with, dry suits on, helmet and life jackets, and that draws a little bit of attention. Some people think that, that they're strippers or whatever, or fancy dress.
We're concerned if he's unconscious, we're concerned that he might not be breathing.
Hey, mate, what's your name? What's your name, mate? Can you hear me? Can Can you hear me?
I was trying to rouse him.
Can you breathe, mate? Can you hear me?
And then he suddenly sort of woke up and said, "Oh, hello."
What's your name? Stay there, stay there. What have you been drinking or taking?
Had sort of white flecks, I think, around his nose, which would tie in with taking some sort of illegal substance. I've only heard of ketamine in the context of veterinary practice, and I think it's a horse tranquilizer. That would explain his predicament.
Outside, an ambulance has arrived at the pier to take the casualty to hospital.
So make sure you're right. You don't look very well at the moment. So the ambulance guys are just going to check you out. You might think you're all right, but you don't know what's going on inside. Do you want me to wait outside? Oh. I'd stay there, mate. Only trying to help you, mate.
Do you ever feel like your time's being wasted?
No. I don't think I've ever felt our time's been wasted. Even if the casualty we're actually dealing with runs off in the end, we've made sure that he hasn't died on the boat.
He done a runner.
No. Did he?
Tower is the station that never sleeps. The volunteers here take it in turns to work 2 12-hour shifts to provide cover around the clock. And living, sleeping and eating alongside one another can lead to some unexpected friendships.
You may be from a completely different walk of life, you may have a completely different opinion from each other, but when you're faced with adversity, then all of that is put to one side. We're all there for one reason.
Craig is an ex-cop, whilst Robin is a lecturer at Chelsea College of Arts.
It's a day-to-day job. I don't really have much of a clue about that, but we're all brought together by the RNLI Lifeboats.
It's like the relationship that you have with your family.
Yeah, I like Robin, he's a good boy. Needs a shave though.
At midnight, a call comes in. A member of the public has seen a woman throw herself into the river.
Nothing, Coast Guard, yeah, there's a female in the water. Just waiting for an update.
Alan and Tad, that's all copy.
When you have a shift on the station, you're fully aware of the fact that there's a possibility that you may have to deal with something that is really quite difficult and sometimes upsetting.
Every year on the Thames, there are more than 300 call-outs to people threatening or attempting to harm themselves.
It's a dark piece of water. And searching for people at night has that very, very real element of the fact that you might miss them.
Shouts from the water draw their attention to the river's edge.
Drop the lamp.
We can hear this girl shouting and screaming, but it's very difficult to spot her. You can hear the noise.
She's underneath.
The woman's clinging to a pillar where the water flows at over 5 miles an hour.
You need to act fast. I I've seen people drown in front of me, you know, that have been there and they've gone under and you don't find them.
Need to get her alive!
It's only so long you can hold on in cold water, then your muscles get tired and weak. He got that line to her straight away.
You got it? Have you got the line? Okay. Okay.
She wanted to be saved, clearly, because when we threw her a line, she grabbed hold of it immediately. People who don't want to be saved actually need more kind of prompting.
Right, if you let go of the pillar and gently pull yourself towards me on the rope, okay? Gently does it. Easy, easy, easy. We're just going to pull you down the side of the boat where we can get to you. Come on. Come on. Come on.
I can't do it.
It's all right, we've got you.
She'd been in the water for a long time, it was freezing cold. And immediately, actually, when we got onto her boat, she appeared to pass out.
It's okay, it's okay.
When somebody has jumped into the river, there's been a tendency to say that they're crazy, when in fact, actually, mental health, I think, is something that affects the majority of us, in a way.
Please, I'll walk out. Please, I promise I'll walk out. I'm a bit worried that you're going to jump in the water.
Police and paramedics are waiting at a nearby jetty to take the woman to hospital, where she can be assessed by a psychiatrist.
Cheers. See you later.
You never know what their futures are going to hold. They may do exactly the same thing in a month's time. But then and there, we're here to support you. We're not here to do anything other than support you.
Absolutely.
Well, Robin, her life saved. No other boat could have got her.
Poor woman.
We do get lots of people that have done that and we've pulled them out. It's changed their life and actually they didn't really want to do that.
In Brighton, the summer season is slow to finish, and a hot afternoon has brought a rush of people back to the coast. Marcus is one of 16 lifeboat crew in Brighton, living his life with one eye on the sea. Before marriage and children, he used to sail yachts around the world.
The sea, for me, is my kind of yoga, I suppose.
Without the sea, I'd probably go insane. I just love it. But it's not easy to balance that with family life.
When he's on call, Marcus can never be further than 5 minutes from the lifeboat station.
You can't just go out for dinner or go for a beer and relax properly because, you know, you are on call.
What does your wife say?
Ask her.
Sometimes it's a bit annoying. Bath time, you know, when the boys is just in the crazy time of being really tired, just about to go to bed, and the alarm's like, it's like, no.
My wife probably worries a little bit, depending on sea conditions and depending on the emergency that we have.
I do get scared, yes, I do. But I feel quite proud of what he does. If you see what they do, really, you need to forget about it and just let them go. And actually, Marcus loves it, so I don't mind.
It's mid-afternoon, and as high tide approaches, Brighton Lifeboat Station receives a call for help. A female tourist out for a walk has called 999 after becoming cut off and trapped by the rising tide. The only problem, she doesn't know where she is.
A shoreline search from Brighton Marina to Saltine Lido.
Information from first informants varies. They might be distressed, they might not be thinking clearly. You know, obviously they're calling 999, hoping that someone's going to come and save them.
With almost 4 miles of coastline to search, The crew must get to the woman before the sea does.
There should be a lifeguard on Saltdean Beach as well, but this bit's not patrolled.
The UK and Ireland have some of the biggest tidal ranges in the world. The combination of steep cliffs and shallowly sloping seabed means the tide around our coast can come in unexpectedly fast.
Tides and seas can move very quickly. Apparently a horse can't outrun the tide.
Trapped between the sea and vertical cliffs over 30 metres high, there is no escape.
I didn't see anything that way, so it might be worth having a quick look, rush down to Saltdean and then perhaps working our way back.
Saltdean Cliffs historically was where smugglers used to put in their boats, and it's very secluded. There were a lot of little inlets. It's very easy to get cut off by the tide there. All of that part of the coastline gets submerged every tide.
It's been half an hour since the alarm was raised, and with the tide still coming in and the sea now just meters from the bottom of the cliffs, there are real fears for the woman's safety.
If a person's stuck on a fast approaching tide and they're cut off and there is no escape via land, you're going to have to swim for it. There's no other option.
The first thing you'd notice is how cold the water is. And when you've got no means of escape, that must just be absolutely terrifying.
As the rising sea starts to reach the foot of the cliffs, the crew spots something at the water's edge.
Yeah, I'll let Coastie know.
The woman has barely a metre of land left to stand on.
Brighton Lifeboat, we've located a person on the eastern end of Saltdean, under the cliff.
She was confused, she was panicking, and who could blame her? If you don't get help and you can't swim in freezing cold water in all of your clothes, you'll drown.
Just under a pole length. Guston. We'll keep it there. Right. Jump.
There isn't anything else after us. There's no other group of people that go out into the water to get people out of it. If we hadn't have turned up, she would have turned up dead.
You okay? You not cold or not any injuries? Do you need any medical care? No?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Lifeboat, Silent Coast Guard. Roger.
Okay, good. Well done. Welcome back.
Next time you want to ride an orange boat, it's called
If you follow me, we'll just...
I'm a very emotional person, and I think events like that always make me appreciate what I've got.
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, no worries. Cheers.
And how lucky I am to have my family, my friends.
Summer is coming to an end. But in Nuki, there are still plenty of holidaymakers on the beaches. Mid-afternoon, the station receive a call from the Coast Guard.
Two persons in the water, currently hanging onto a surfboard. Roger on that, thank you, found the Coast Guard out.
We were told that there were two people in the water up to half a mile off Hollyjoke. That immediately is the alarm bells. So it was go, go, go.
Get out of the boat!
All right, hold on, Hollyjoke.
Set between two headlands, Pollyjoke is a narrow beach with a powerful rip current that can easily catch out unsuspecting swimmers.
Riptides can exist at any beach. It's a current of water that moves out to sea, so it's taking you out of your depth and away from the beach.
It's a 10-year-old boy who has been caught in the rip. His father ran in to save him, and now both are in trouble.
I guess his father's instincts kicked in. As soon as he saw the boy in difficulty, he's just run for the water. And it's not always the right thing to do.
Going in after someone else is one of the most common causes of drowning. At Polyjoke Beach alone, 3 adults drowned last year trying to save children in almost identical circumstances.
You just do everything you can, and on that day, everybody performed outstandingly. Just sometimes you can't, you're just too late.
The longer the boy and his dad are pulled out by the rip current, the harder it is for the crew to predict where they'll be. 10 minutes into the search, they spot 2 casualties in the water.
Front, get up the front.
The crew prioritised the boy.
Hey, you alright? Good lad, you take a seat back here then, you'll look after you.
I was just there having a nice time, and then it all happened quite suddenly. The sea just kind of took me out. I just didn't really know what to do. I was trying to swim back and I got quite scared, and then my dad came out for me. It was quite hard to accept that I'd got out, but I was scared because my dad was still in the water.
Take him to the stern, turn him round.
We were in a lot of trouble. I knew we were in trouble. There was no fighting it at all. I went into the rip. I put my head down and swam, and the next time I put my head up, the board was in front of me and I grabbed hold of the board.
My dad told me to hold on to my bodyboard because it would keep us afloat.
I hear stories that it's the ones that aren't with the board that don't come back. So I knew the importance of staying with the board, whatever happened. I didn't even hear them. I looked over my shoulder and they were just there. It's one of the best sights ever.
Father did a fantastic job. Essentially, father saved his son's life.
There was a lot of relief. It's the main feeling. But there's also an element of he was told to stand with everyone else. He did get carried away and he kept saying, "I'm very, very sorry." So he did get a little bit of a telling off when everyone else had gone home.
499 miles from Nuki, a lifeboat station on a remote Scottish island has been alerted to a boat approaching the harbour. The artists from France have survived their journey and made it all the way to Islay.
Everything. We broke everything, from the engine to the radios. Big leaks, huge leaks. Everything.
With only meters to go, there's still time for one final mishap. This time, it's the Islay Lifeboat crew to the rescue. Their antique boat will finally become whiskey barrels, but only if they make it to the distillery.
Whoa! Alright, Luke's gonna go over. Fuck's sake.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
This was amazing.
Well, the end result, no doubt, will be wonderful. But I don't expect I'll ever get to taste it.
It will be bottled in some months, and I hope you will have the taste of sea, wind, and adventure.
Do you think that you will have another sailing adventure?
As soon as possible, of course. Of course, of course.
As summer draws to a close, the RNLI's busiest period is over for another year. This season across Britain, the volunteers have come to the aid of over 4,000 people and saved more than 150 lives.
All of our casualties are either somebody's child, somebody's mother, somebody's father, somebody's brother, somebody's sister. You know, you put yourself in their position. Summer or winter, 365 days of the year. It's good to know that there's a lifeboat out there if you need it. After 41 years, the day will come when I'll hang the pager up and hand it back in. But at the moment, there's a job to be done.
Yeah, 10-second rule, just go ahead, do it.
Faisal, the young man who had to be rescued from the Thames after his YouTube stunt went badly wrong, donated all the proceeds generated by the video to the RNLI.
I'm really thankful I didn't die. I'd obviously never do it again, and I'd advise people like to respect the water and stuff like that. Hashtag respect the water.
You got a bald person at 9 o'clock?
The swimmer who was missing in Brighton did eventually show up,
Bald person at 9 o'clock.
alive and well. He got himself out of the water but couldn't find his way back to his friends.
Is your leg in the welly or your leg itself? Your leg itself, is it?
Ira has suffered no lasting ill effects after getting stuck in the rocks, but the experience has taught her a valuable lesson.
I still play in the sea, I still like the sea, but I know that I didn't really think of it as a place of danger before that happened, but now I know that it's a place you need to be careful in.
Gently does it, easy.
The lady who was pulled from the River Thames suffering mental health problems is doing well.
All right, we've got you.
She's extremely grateful to the volunteers who were there to save her life.